Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we got a pretty fun one for you guys, as we're going to be taking a look at this amazing LEGO Star Wars custom AT-OT walker from Republic Bricks. Now, in this video we're going to be doing a review of this build, kind of showing you all the features. Then we're also going to go ahead and compare it to the original 2009 AT-OT walker from set number 10195. So a pretty fun video for you guys, but anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, this AT-OT walker is made by Dave's Customs and sold on RepublicBricks.com. And again, Republic Bricks sells a variety of different kind of custom sets, from gunships to ATTEs to starfighters. So really cool stuff. A link in the description below. And he did actually end up sending this to me for free to review. However, all opinions in this video are of my own. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Jump right into this amazing AT-OT walker build. Alright, so let's start off just giving you a quick look at the side view so you can see some of the details here. You of course have the nice leg detailing as well as kind of the side section. Here you have a look at it from the back so you can really get a better look. You have the ramp, some of the seats and detailing inside. And then here we have a look at the front section. So again, you can kind of get a better look at the driver's cabin as well as some of the interior from the top. But let's go and start off and take a look at the driver's cabin and then move our way backwards. Alright, so here we have a look at the driver's cabin. Now this is again where you would fit your AT-OT driver, and it is made using a bit of an interesting technique, using these kind of inverted glass pieces which are found commonly in LEGO City sets, but it works quite well, and actually this was what was used in set number 10195 as well, so a pretty interesting technique. In order to really open and access the cabin, you can actually lift this section up like such, and then pull really the three main glass pieces apart, and that kind of gives you all the accessibility on the interior. So you can see you have a control panel there where you can kind of have the controls for the walker, and then a section where you can fit a clone trooper. So he just fits in like such. Again, it's quite simple, no studs there, but it works quite well. And then you can close this section up like such. So it's a nice kind of nice fit there, works quite well. And on each side you have these blasters which can move up and down. Now, Republic Bricks does sell a Republic dropship on the site as well, which can actually attach to this AT-OT walker, and that is kind of where this next feature comes into play, where you can actually take this entire cockpit and kind of move it upward like such. So this is mainly so that it can actually attach to the AT-OT or to the Republic dropship. So a pretty interesting feature there. And again, it just folds right back down like such. So there is a look at the cabin. Alright, so here we have a look at the main body of the build. This is of course where your Clone Trooper minifigures would be seated. Now, overall, this is definitely one of my favorite parts of the build. So you can have these two side sections that kind of border the overall body, kind of as armor for protection. You can see you have some nice detailing here. This is actually where a Republic emblem would go. So if you have one of those stickers, you can easily place it over here. You have some nice combination with the dark red and light bluish gray, and I think that looks pretty good. Then on the back section of the armor, you actually have placements for a couple of blasters for your clone troopers. Now, the main body here features 15 seats, all kind of the brick-built variety, so rather than using those old LEGO City chairs, they ended up actually going ahead and kind of adding these brick-built chairs, which I think looks really good. In the back here, you have a ramp, which can open up to deploy your troops. So overall, quite a bit of space, quite spacious. You can even fit a few troopers standing up. But again, I really do like especially that sand green look combination, color combination with kind of the light bluish gray. Definitely one of the best parts of this build. And then finally in the back you do have a couple of these kind of bubble turrets, which can, have a temporary movement here, and that is kind of for the back of the build. Now let's move on to the legs. Alright, and here's a bit of a look at the side section. So you can kind of get a nice look at really the armor on the side here, some of the more details with regards to that. And then you also get a look at the feet. Now the feet look pretty interesting. Overall, I do like kind of for the top of the foot using this kind of plate built section to make it, rather than just using the regular dish pieces. I think that looks really good. Alright, and then finally in terms of the movement of the legs have really only one point of movement, and that is really at this lower joint. So that can move quite well, as you can see here. However, At this top joint, there is no movement at all, so that is a bit interesting. Again, the reason for that is if you take this off, the leg is kind of connected using these two axles, which completely lock the leg in place. Now, of course, that's inaccurate, as in universe, usually in order for the walker to move, it needs to have this kind of movement at this joint as well. And again, that was also seen in the original set. So that's really the only flaw in the fact that these legs are completely locked in place. And that, of course, takes away from playability, but also in mocks, because when you want to position the walker, it is also kind of takes away from that as well. Now, yes, it is somewhat easily fixable where you could just remove these two axles in this 1x6 tile, but I definitely would have loved if this was actually movable at the second joint as well, as that would have really kind of added quite a bit of value to the set. So that's really the only flaw of the set. Again, it is not too big, but it definitely does take away a bit from the overall build. So those are a look at the legs. And then finally, I thought I'd just go ahead and show you the underbelly. So it's made kind of using these large gray kind of boat pieces, which actually is an interesting use of piece there. And overall, it is definitely quite a sturdy vehicle as well. So there is a look at the build, and now let's go ahead and do a quick comparison with the original 10195 version. Alright, and here we have a quick look at a comparison between the two kind of main ATOT builds. So you have 10195 on the left, and then Republic Bricks version on the right. So we'll take a quick look at a couple different angles and compare them. Alright, so starting off here, a quick look at the kind of front of the two builds, really comparing the cockpit sections, which are pretty much identical in both of the builds. But personally, I do think that's fine, mainly because of the fact that the kind of front, this cockpit design was quite interesting, so kind of replicating it is definitely fine. However, I do wish maybe a couple of custom printed stickers would have been nice to place here as well. And then the blasters are also pretty similar in terms of their design, and again, both of them, as I said, do move up and down. Alright, and here we have a look at both models kind of side by side, so you can get a better look in terms of its overall scale. Both are actually quite similar in terms of the size, and really the leg designs differ quite a bit, but I do kind of like the newer version of Republic Bricks' one quite a bit more. The cockpits, as you see, are pretty much identical in terms of their overall design. And then the really difference with the 10195 model is the fact that the legs are kind of movable at not only this joint, but the second joint here, and kind of have this second walking position as well. So I do kind of really like that as well. That's definitely a big plus with that model there. Alright, and then just a quick look at the top of the build, so you can really see a look at the body and the troop compartments. So again, the main difference being really the brick built versus the regular city chairs, and personally I do prefer the brick built ones quite a bit more, especially in that sand green color. And in terms of the number of troops they can carry, 16 in 10195 versus Republic's Bricks variant can carry 15. So pretty similar in terms of kind of the overall size and capacity of each of the troop compartments. Alright, and there was a look at the custom LEGO Republic ATOT Walker by Republic Bricks. So overall, definitely a pretty awesome set. Definitely the big pros of the set being the kind of main body section. Really do like how that's designed, especially the kind of brick built sand green chairs I think look great. And then the legs. The legs also have a pretty nice kind of aesthetic and design using kind of these plate built sections here. Overall, I think those look great as well. Now really the only con with the set would be the fact that the legs don't have this kind of second point of motion, which I think does take away a bit from kind of the accuracy and then also playability of the build. So I think just having that second point of motion, even a bit as you saw with how it does in the 10195 model, I think that would have worked out great. And another little kind of nitpick, I guess, would be the fact that I think it would have been cool maybe just to include a couple custom stickers to cover up this cockpit section like 10195 has. But other than that, it's a really good set. Definitely a solid 8 out of 10. So now let's quickly answer that question. Should you purchase this set? Well, this set does cost $300, which looking at it kind of overall, that is a bit of a steep price. But I personally have made custom sets with other companies in the past, so I kind of know that where kind of that price comes from. Of course, the sourcing of the parts, which in my guess would probably be, especially in kind of the large quantities, about $150 is my guess. Of course, then you have to pay the builder of the instructions, as he usually gets a percentage of each set as well. And then finally, you have somewhat of a profit. So it's not too bad of a price, actually, to be honest, when you kind of look at it from that point of view. Now, comparing that also to the 10195 version, that set actually costs $850. The cheapest I'm seeing anyone in the world selling the ATOT on its own is around $400. So again, comparing getting that ATOT for $400 versus this ATOT for $300, I definitely think this one would be the way to go. So it's definitely quite a bit cheaper than the original set, and personally I think it looks quite a bit better in terms of its overall design and aesthetic. So there you go. So thank you so much for watching this review. Again, you can check out Republic Bricks' website down in the description below and use code WIZARD, WIZARD, for 5% off your order. But anyways, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming very soon. And anyways, I'll see you all next time.